What's up, okay? Hello. Those of you who know me. Those of you who don't, can go ahead and call me Linoge. This is intro blog for Welcome to My Cell. The project I've been slowly putting together. I had initially planned on just starting you guys out, boom, right out the gate, something pretty serious, which was going to be talking about an accident I witnessed a couple years ago, but we'll get into that later because I think that's not the best starting point. Let's ease you guys into knowing who I am first, and then we'll gradually build up and give you some background and whatnot and tell you what this is all about. So, I am a 26-year-old gay trans man. That means I was born biologically female, and about 5 years ago, I moved to Portland, 6 now, and I decided to start taking steps towards transitioning. I've been on hormone supplements, hormone therapy for 4 years now, and as you can tell, you probably wouldn't have known the former fact if I hadn't told you. Yeah. Hi. If you have any questions about that, feel free to ask. Just, please be polite. So, yes, what's this about? Let's see, checking script. Right. I spend often because I spend 90 to 95% of my time at home. The 5 to 10% of my time that I don't spend home, I am taking very short trips to the store, either one that's about 7 blocks in either direction from my apartment, or on rare occasions that I really enjoy but don't get to do near frequently enough due to the wide variety of reasons, which we'll get into. Because of a wide variety of reasons we'll get into later, I don't get to go out nearly as often as I'd like to places like the club, downtown, CC Slaughters, Red Cap, places like that, get to see my friends, and so forth. And so this is a way for me to keep in better touch with them and let them know, hi guys, I do still care, and I'm trying to let you know that I'm here, and I'm around, and I'm doing okay. Pardon me, I get dry throat real easily. I've got allergies and whatnot. Secondly, this is sort of a way to explain myself a bit to people who don't understand why I do some of the stuff I do, or why I spend so much time at home, or why I can't just suck it up and get the fuck out of the house and whatnot. I do have reasons, and they're perfectly logical when you look at it from my standpoint. It's a lot more complicated than that, guys, and a lot of people really don't understand what living with severe PTSD is like, post-traumatic stress disorder, which I have springing from a variety of issues that, again, we'll get into more depth on that later. But I'm also schizotypal. I have mild schizophrenia, and it means, in my case anyway, that I have auditory visual hallucinations. A good example for this sort of thing is Beautiful Mind, although mine aren't quite that crazy, thankfully, most of the time anyway. But that is another complication I've got. And then on top of that, I've also got severe social anxiety problems, and on top of all that, I've got fibromyalgia and rheumatoid arthritis, and I was born with twisted legs. I had kind of braces like Forrest Gump did when I was learning how to walk when I was little. And so between all this mountain of factors, I generally don't get out very often. I would really, really like to, because frankly, I like people. I like socializing with my friends. I just get so easily overwhelmed, it's ridiculous. And my dog is trying to adjust himself, so I'll just give him a little more room. I don't know if you can see him or not, probably not. But, yeah. The Bosley dog is another reason we don't get out very often, because a lot of places are kind of grumpy about service animals. Some not grumpy really. I don't. It's partially my fault because when I got him, I was told I just needed tags, and so I got tags that say what kind of support animal, service animal he is, and one that just says service dog. But apparently I need to have a little harness vest for him, so I'm going to get that soon. And as soon as I do, then it'll be less of an issue. And it's not like I don't carry my papers with me, because I always do. They're in my bag, signed by my therapist and whatnot. And I've got them. So, moving on from that, that's a bit of a tangent. What I do when I am able to, and something I do often from home, is I'm a freelance photographer. I love to do photography. Something you'll see a lot of on here is either links to my main portfolio or my DeviantArt page, etc. And, excuse me, I need another drink of water. I really enjoy photography. I've been taking photos, been a total shutterbug since I was about 3 or so. Ever since I was old enough to figure out how to work the Polaroid Instamatic, I've been taking photos, and my partner got me this camera, which we are using to record this, in fact, about 3 years ago for a Christmas present back in 2008, and I have gotten so much use out of it, and I continue to use it, obviously, and I love it. Love it to death. It's a wonderful tool. I do portraits, standard portraits, unique portraiture. I work with people of all sizes. I really enjoy macro photography. This thing is a wonderful macro setting. It's super macro, gets great detail. I have actually got my first show ever of my art in public at Beach Massage this year out on Milwaukee Avenue here in the Portland area. And it's entirely of macro close-ups of plants and such. It's called The Color Collection, Expressing Rainbow Pride Through Nature, and there's 2 or 3 photos for each color of the rainbow. It's really, really pretty. And you can check that out on my DeviantArt page, and most of it's on my carbon-made portfolio, which I'll probably insert links to. And so that's that. I also really, really love to sew. I recently did a commission for candidate number 2 for Ms. Gay Pride Portland 2011 Ruby Riot. I made her formal wear gown. It was rather beautiful and was very well received. She really loved it. I'm glad she did. It was a joy making it. And it got nothing but compliments, and I'm really thrilled. I specialize in working with plus-size people, but I work with anyone of any size as long as they're nice and willing to work with me, and the fact that I approach things usually from a different angle. I make my own patterns because I just generally can't wrap my head around the pre-designed patterns. My brain interacts with things a bit differently. So I am currently working on a project for another friend. I'm doing an Andy Warhol themed bedroom set of the banana painting that he did. I'm making a comforter and a banana shaped pillow, which is going to be quite a showpiece for my portfolio, I must say, because it's funny shaped and it's going to be really awesome. I can't wait to make it. And comforter, pillows, and curtains, I think, is what we're doing at the moment. And then if they want anything else, they can always order it from me in the future. I do that. Basically, I work freelance from home, any odd jobs I can take on that allow me to work from home. I do live show photography when I can get out. I always take my camera, and you'll see me around taking pictures because I like to capture the moment. So I can remember I got out and I had some fun, and it was really awesome. So that's what I like to do. I'm trades and as far as my art goes, I'm a jack of all trades. I paint, I sew, I sketch, etc., etc. I'm moving into videos now as something new to do to kill time in my oh so tedious life, as Welcome to My Cell will surely demonstrate. It's tedious and it's surreal, but Yeah, generally my theory with my art is if you can think it, I can make it happen. And if I don't know how to do it, that just means I haven't learned yet. I'm perfectly willing to learn a whole new skill set in order to do a project. Unless it's something that I obviously don't have the tools for. Like, I can do welding, but I don't have the space for it, or the tools, as much as I would love to someday. I want to learn glass blowing again someday. You know, anything that takes a lot of tools I can do, obviously. Woodworking is something else I know how to do. And, pardon me, I can't do. So, talking loud dries my throat out. That's why I have to keep drinking, and I've got allergies, like I said before. But, yeah. So I'm going to move on from that now and tell you a little bit about the project. Welcome to my cell. As I've discussed, I spend most of my time at home, and this is basically a peek into my life, a peek into my head in particular. We're going to delve into a lot of my trauma issues, dreams, nightmares. I had a lot of nightmares, anxiety attacks, triggers, etc. What I do around the house to try and keep myself occupied in my ample free time. Yeah, stuff like that. It should be really interesting, I hope. I've got some really interesting ideas. My mind isn't always dark, but unfortunately a lot of this is going to be fairly dark material. Hopefully not right out the gate, but some of it's going to be pretty dark. I've seen some fucked up shit in my life, and this is basically a cathartic way for me to work through some shit. Because I currently cannot afford therapy. I have not been in therapy for over a year now, and it has been hard as hell to get by. I'm lucky I even get my meds, and I don't at the moment, which is another reason why I'm doing this, because I currently don't even have my meds to help me out, and I'm pretty fucking batshit off the walls. I have freakouts, and I yell, and I'm a pain in the ass. Most of the time I'm a nice guy, and one of the reasons why I wanted to do at least a handful of intro vlogs and tell you a bit about myself is so you don't see some of this crazy shit that goes on in my head and be like, oh my god, he's like a fucked up, like, homicidal maniac. We should tell somebody about this. I'm not. I really am not. At the very worst, at the very most, I'm a potential threat to myself, and at the worst, I'm going to clown myself up a little bit, and that's it. I don't do cutting. I did when I was in high school. I had a problem with that. But I don't do that anymore, because I had an accident in 2004, and I nearly lost my thumb to a box knife when I was working at Walmart. Long story. We'll touch on that someday, but ever since then, gee, call me crazy, but I lost my taste for knives on my skin. I still claw myself when I get really freaked out, and unfortunately that's just a reaction I have, and there's only so much I can do to control it without the meds, you know. But thankfully, you know, I'm good at my first aid and whatnot, and I've never gotten an infection or anything, so I'm not that worried about it. It does worry me. Of course it worries me. I mean, trust me, it freaks me out. But, yeah, that's one thing we'll touch on more later. But yeah, thank you for listening, and please keep checking back. I'm going to try and update this with intro vlogs nightly, or at least a couple times a week for the next couple weeks while I learn my video editing software. That's what's going to be holding up. That's been the big holdup on the project lately. Technical difficulties. Finally got some video editing software I think is going to work. So, cross your fingers and find out. Pardon me. Secondly, yeah, it's going to be, I've got to learn my programs as well. I'm learning as I go, and I find, frankly, for me anyway, that's the best way to do things. That way I keep motivated, because there's always something new to learn, but I'm not too hindered by the fact that, you know, I don't know anything, because I'm a real fast learner. That's one of my best qualities, I find. So yeah, anyway, enough gassing on. Thank you for listening, and check back, and I'll have more in the next day or so, I hope. I'll post another one tomorrow. Thank you for listening, and welcome to my cell. Tomorrow I'll give you a video tour of my actual cell. because tonight I'm recording in the bathroom because our acoustics in the apartment, there is so much white noise in a really big room because there's a lot of airspace, and the mic on this camera sucks. I'm working on saving up to get a mic that I can plug straight into the computer because this one doesn't have any peripherals to hook up to it because it's a camera, not a video camera that takes stills. It's the other way around. So until then, I'll do most of my recording in here because I find that the acoustics are quite good and it's a nice tiny space, and so there's not a whole lot of room for the sound to spread out and dissipate and fill in with white noise. So, awesome. And yeah, welcome to my cell. Bye.